Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jazz. I'm a spiritual healer. I'm a spiritual teacher, mystic priestess, and I'm here to help you live your best life from a place of being centered, from a place of being grounded, and really empowered in your intuition. Today, for the next 10 minutes or so, we're talking about the third eye chakra. So if you've been following me for the past few weeks, we've been through all the chakras from the root all the way up, and we're now at the third eye chakra, which is located here right in your forehead. There is a gland just behind here, and you have the pituitary gland that is behind, and of course your brain is there, so your third eye is also activated with your brain. You know that the brain is made of two parts. You have, the left and the right part of your brain. You have the creative side and the logic side of your brain. So I want you to kind of ground yourself in that little side knowledge, if you want to really talk about intuition and what I mean when I talk about intuition. Because I want to dispel a whole lot of myths that people have about the intuition. And I also want to teach you the best way to really activate your intuition. So most people come to me, and I kind of was the same way when I first started my journey over like 15 years ago into intuition. We think that opening up a third eye, opening up the intuition is like the nec plus ultra. It's like the thing, the ultimate thing that we can do is open up our intuition through the third eye. And if only our third eye would open, then we would see auras, we would see all kinds of things, we would hear things. And at the same time, part of the ego voices or the fears is that people don't want to open their intuition because there's so much fear. So many of my students, when they start working with me, they are afraid of opening up to intuition because they're afraid of seeing ghosts. They're afraid of becoming possessed. They're then that if they open themselves up, then some entity is going to jump in. And what if they go into meditation and then something else happens? Then people are just going to go crazy. Right, so there's like this whole polarity of, I really want to have a really strong intuition, and I'm really super, super scared about having this strong intuition. So I would like to know, if you can put that in the comments, let me know, where are you with that? Are you like neutral? You don't really care much about your intuition? Is this something that you really want to do, or is this something that you're really scared to do? So let me know in the comments so that I know a little bit more how to serve you. All right? Because I am intuitive, I am psychic, but at the same time, I'm not in your head, and I don't want to be. This is one of the ethics things that I teach all my students and my clients. It is not okay to be intuitive and to kind of have that X-ray vision and to see into everybody's aura and everybody's mind all the time. It is not okay to have an intuition and to kind of go grocery shopping and just be listening into all the stuff that's going on in other people's lives and talking to their grandparents or all that. It's not okay. The analogy that I often give my students is, you got hands, right? I'll assume that you have two. You might have one or none. Please just bear with me. So you have hands, and because you have hands doesn't mean that you go around the grocery store and grabbing everybody's butt or grabbing everybody's boob. You know that's not right. We don't do that. It's the same thing with your intuition. You don't go on grabbing to other people's psychic stuff just because you can. So that's a type of ethics that I really want to instill in people. There's a time to open up to intuition, and there's a time to kind of just close the channel. Your intuition, your ability to intuit, and especially feeling into what other people are saying, you need to learn that this is like a radio. Your body is electric. Your body is a frequency, and you can turn that on and you can turn that off. It is not okay to be on all the time. It's so draining when we do. And that's why when people come to me and they're empaths, they can't go shopping anymore. They can't be in crowds anymore. Anxiety level goes up. They kind of just feel everything. Those are the people who have not learned to shut down this radio. So you want to talk about private, about psychic protection, about grounding, but it's also your own will and your own decision to say, right now it's closed and I'm just going to enjoy my 3D, right? How does that land with you? Let me know. Because you have the power to open up and you have the power to close down. It's a radio. Your body is magnetic. It's a frequency. It's an antenna. You are like a radio. So you can broadcast waves and you can receive waves and you can turn it down and you can dial it up. So what I want you to know from that is that if you think that your intuition is blocked, it's probably because somewhere you've chosen for your intuition to be blocked. Maybe sometime in your past you've been scared of something. Maybe you watch too many Hollywood movies and you think that opening up your intuition is only like, you know, The Craft, or, you know, Wicca stuff, or you know, witch stuff. And there's a fear that you don't want to be like that person, or you think that intuitive people are like the are like gypsy, or like, you know, super pagan, long skirts, and not grounded. They can't hold a job. They can't pay rent, and they don't want to pay rent because they're in la la land all the time. So maybe you have those beliefs about what being intuitive is. That's an ego block. That's the voices of your ego. That's a voice of fear, because you say, I know I'm intuitive. Maybe I used to be intuitive when I was a kid, but I closed down because of those fears. So if you want to really develop your intuition, my first work with you is to uncover those patterns. When was the first time that you decided that it was not okay to be intuitive? And the second thing is, what is your definition of being intuitive? Because again, for some people, being intuitive means that you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you know, I see dead people, you know, that type of stuff. And it can be really scary because you probably want to have like a normal life, quote unquote, still going to work, still making a paycheck, still having friends, and having an intuition, but you don't know where that and is. Because you think it's an either or. You're either intuitive or you can work in the office, right? But there's an and. So you need to find that connection for you, because it's not an or. So, and that often depends on what your definition of intuition is. I'm going to share with you my definition of intuition, what I've learned, what I've practiced over the years, and let's see how that lands with you. So intuition is that ability for you to be both creative and logic. Your intuition is what informs your decision-making process. Your intuition is about the facts that you can see. So where you are right now, what your finances are right now, what your relationships are like right now, like the really 3D reality of where you are, of the experience that you have created, and the ability for you to think forward of what can be, what might be, what is possible to be. This is something that's very unique to humankind, is that ability to project ourselves in the future and to have all those scenarios of what is possible to be. And then you bring these two things, your 3D and what is possible to be, what has not happened yet, or what might have happened in the past that can inform this decision. And you marry that together, and that's part of your intuition. So as part of what we cannot see, there's also the spirit guides, the goddesses, the information we pick up from the environment, the vibration of everything. We talked about vibration at the throat chakra. So all of that comes into play. Everything from your body, from the ground up, from the root, from being safe, from being secure, from being in your body, from being creative, from being with your instincts, from being empowered as the solar plex, from being in love and not in fear, and then feeling the vibrations. All of that comes up, informs your third eye chakra, so you can make the best decision possible in all areas of your life. Not just to see ghosts, not just to talk with dead people, not just for healing, but for everything in your life. Every decision can be influenced by your intuition. So does that make sense? How does that land with you? So your intuition is both creative and logic. Your intuition is both what you can see and what you cannot see, and that informs your decision. Your intuition is inspiration, and it helps you move forward on your goals. So let me know how that lands with you. Give me some hearts if that resonates with you. If it's an aha moment, share that with me as well. And if you think that that's just not it at all, let me know as well. And I'm totally okay with that, because it's fine if my definition is different than yours. But I find, and working with hundreds of clients and students over the years, is that this definition is very empowering, and it helps us who want to have a very grounded sense of intuition. So in working with the 3D world to really anchor a higher type of vibration. So by that I mean, if we want to open up our intuition and our third eye, and we just want to channel aliens, goddesses, nature, fairies, what have you, but then you never ground that into a 3D action in a way that makes your life better and then makes the lives of other people around you better, it's kind of a waste of time, in my honest opinion, because you're not furthering the whole of humankind. You're not furthering the experience on Earth. You're in a different land, like in a parallel universe, and you're not fully immersed into why you came here to incarnate, because you chose to have a body, you chose to have a 3D experience, you chose to be a soul anchored in a physical world. So we need to use this physical world because it's so short at a time. So yes, we have many lifetimes, but the one lifetime is still very short. So you need to be able to really utilize this 3D world to really anchor what it is that you wanted to bring to Earth from your soul self. If you stay in the soul self, you won't do much on the 3D world. And it's in the 3D world that we can really see the changes. Does that make sense? Let me know. So your third eye, again, it's about intuition, and the ego voices at your third eye is going to tell you that it's too complicated, that you can't do it, that you're blocked, that it's useless, or that it has to be really big, like the clouds parting and a booming voice coming down from the heavens, or that it's really that Hollywood experience to open up your third eye. And your ego voice is not going to be able to see you being both intuitive, spiritual, and practical. So those are just voices from the ego. So what I wanted to invite you into thinking is that it's an and, not an or. You can and you have to be both creative. You have to be both spiritually minded, open to the possibilities that you cannot see, that you cannot grasp, that you cannot explain logically, but you know vibrationally that there's a truth for you, and anchoring all of that in the 3D. So that is really what I wanted to say in a nutshell today. I have so much to say about intuition development, of course, because that is my area of expertise. That is what I'm teaching people. If you want to know more about your intuition, how you can tap into your own gifts and into your own skills to make your life better, to feel more empowered, to feel more confident, to attract maybe more love or the right business to you, let's talk. I'll put a link where you can we can have a 30-minute chat. I want to learn more about you. And so let's chat about your intuition, and I'll share with you how I can help you even more in either group programs. I have an excellent membership program that just started. It's called the Intuition Development Program. It's a Moon membership, so I invite you to join there. It's like the entrance, the entryway to all the work that we can do together. So much knowledge, wisdom, teachings, healing is going to happen in this group. So I invite you to join. And I also have wonderful one-on-one programs, because a lot of people, they don't want to learn intuition in a group, and they don't want it to be impersonal. So you want to have direct access to me so that I can do attunement processes, we can do healing processes, and I can teach you what intuition means for you in your life in a very unique way, in your own vibrational makeup. So we can do that with a really, really wonderful 3-month one-on-one program where we'll go deep and heal and attune your intuition, so that at the end of the 3 months, you'll feel like your perceptions have changed, and like a big weight has been lifted from your shoulders, because you can now live your life from a place of being centered and being empowered and being radically responsible for your choices and decisions. No longer the victim of outside vibrations, but really being the divine co-creator that you are. And I would love to journey with you in this process. So let's talk. If this resonates with you, listen to that voice of intuition, not the voice of ego saying that this isn't right, but listen to that voice of your intuition that says that yes, you're ready to move forward and have that life of freedom and joy and creativity that comes from having an active third eye chakra, imagination, and intuition. So until then, surrounding you with so much love, and I'm sending you a big, big, big virtual hug, and I'm really looking forward to talking with you more. Bye for now.